Our top story this hour, sometimes you gotta fight evil with evil. Well, that may be the philosophy behind the failed Christmas Day bombing. More details are being released that authorities not only knew about Umar Farouk Abdulmutallab, but they may have intentionally let him through the security gates. Why? Well, here to answer that question is investigative journalist Webster Tarpley. Webster, so back on January 27th, there was that testimony, of course, with the House Homeland Security Committee, and one of the people who was questioned at that time was Undersecretary of State for Management Patrick Kennedy, and they asked him why, if they knew that Abdulmutallab was a dangerous man, did they not revoke his visa, right? A fair question. Yeah. Well, the thing is that he said that someone in the intelligence community said don't revoke it because they were already keeping their eye on him, and they thought that if they would continue to follow him, they would get information about this sort of broader network. Can you give us more details about that?
This is, of course, a cover story, but it's a tremendously important revelation now for the first time. You may remember I argued right here on December 28th that Mutallab was a protected patsy taking part in a staged provocation, an orchestrated operation with a political goal. And that is now confirmed by this Undersecretary of State Kennedy, who is the guy responsible for consular services, visas, and so forth. What he says is this, that the State Department got the word from Nigeria, from the father coming in, the rich banker, telling about his son being in league with possible terrorists. And when that came in, the State Department was about to revoke the guy's visa, meaning he could never have gotten on the plane from Amsterdam to Detroit. However, there's one preliminary step, which is to poll, to query the other agencies, intelligence and law enforcement, and see if anybody has an objection. And indeed, there was an objection from at least one. We don't know how many, we don't know who, but at least one. And their story was, we have eyes on him, we're following him, we're tracking him, he's a little fish, he'll lead us to big fish. Now, this is the classic method of a national security override. You flag the guy's case with a national security override, and it says, nobody can arrest him, nobody can touch him, because we're tracking him. And that goes from a traffic cop to the CIA to anybody else. But of course, what this means is that there's a network in the U.S. government, a rogue network.
But why did they deny this intentionally? Because this all came out. If you read the transcript of the hearing, which I did back on January 27th, you know, they sort of admitted that. But initially, they denied it. Why is that?
Initially, they said they spelled his name wrong. Initially, they said they didn't connect the dots. These are cover stories. There's a rogue network of moles inside the U.S. government. It's been known for decades. It's the invisible government or the shadow government, call it what you like. And they wanted this incident to occur. They wanted it, and they got it. And in the process, they were cynically indifferent to the danger represented by this guy with the bomb in his underwear. The plane could have blown up under slightly different conditions.
But if they were following him closely, how did they not know that he was planning to bomb their airliner?
They knew who he was.
But you're saying that the U.S. government knew that he was going to bomb the airliner, and they were okay with it? That's very hard to believe.
And I don't think it's hard at all, because if you pull on this thread, Kennedy was asked, which agency told you to do this? And he said, I'm not going to tell you that in public, but I'll tell you in private, in executive session. Now, if you go and find out who demanded that Mutallab be admitted, given the visa, he gets the visa, he gets off the no-fly list, he's never on it, and he comes in, you'll find the network that staged this event, and that is indeed the shadow government. You pull on that cord, you get back to 9/11, Iran-Contra, the Kennedy assassination, and much else. That is what is now here. And this is not just me. The Obama White House on January 4th put out word through Richard Wolff on MSNBC saying that they thought that this had been intentional, done by a network with an alternative agenda. They were right, and they were just foolish to drop the investigation.
Well, that testimony was certainly very interesting to hear, and you did say that you had been here before questioning it, and now we do find out that they were trying to follow this sort of broader network, so they apparently intentionally did not revoke his visa. Webster Tarpley, thank you for your analysis.